Hey guys, if you're new here, my name is Dan Henry and I've been filming weddings for over 5 years now, and I'm very proud of the films and the couples I've got to work with and how much I've learned about filmmaking along the way. When shooting a wedding video, you may be overwhelmed by the amount of gear you actually need. So in this video, I'm going to show you what equipment I use when I film weddings. Obviously, the most important thing you need to shoot a wedding is a camera. So the main camera I'm shooting with is the Sony a7S III. Before that, I was rocking the a7S II, and before that, I was rocking the Canon 5D Mark III. Wanting to get the best gear is fine, but it's also important to master the gear you have. While shooting wedding videos, I would recommend to at least have 2 camera bodies. Always good to have a backup, but it's also handy to give you the ability of the extra camera angle when filming the ceremonies or speeches. So my backup camera is a Sony a6500. I can use the same lenses with these 2 bodies, so no need to worry about compatibility with different camera brands. Plus it's nice to have cameras that roughly have the same color science as each other. Just like any video production, camera stabilization is key. If the couple wanted shaky camcorder footage, they would have just asked a random family member who has a camcorder. Good old Uncle Bill. Since they hired you, you'll need to make sure your footage is as steady as can be, and that is why I like to use the DJI Ronin S and a tripod. I've used a Glidecam in the past and they're great if you're on a budget. Unlike a gimbal, it does take a while to learn how to use it though. That's why the motorized gimbal is a stabilizer I like to use for weddings to get the majority of my shots. I've used a few gimbals in the past for weddings like the Ronin M, but I found it too big and balancing was very time consuming. In my experience, I found the Ronin S the best of the bunch. It's easy to balance, lightweight and portable. The tripod is the golden standard of all stable footage. Users think they need the latest and greatest stabilizer toy to get the best footage, but that couldn't be further from the truth. A solid tripod and fluid head will do more for your video than practically any of the following suggestions. The added benefit is the ability to set up a tripod and let the camera run while you attend other shots. It also makes a great assistant during the ceremony. You can set up a tripod in the back of the venue, just let the camera roll while you work on your other camera angle. Tripods are great for shots that require little or no movement. Again, I tend to place my B camera on a tripod and let it roll in the back of the venue while I'm grabbing some movement shots with the gimbal. The tripod I own is a Manfrotto tripod with a fluid head. A fluid head is a must if you're planning to tilt or pan your camera while keeping those movements smooth. As always, I'll put the links to all the gear I mentioned in this video in the description below for you. As for camera lenses, I tend to bring the following 4 with me for every wedding day. The 24-70 G Master lens. For a long time, this was the only lens I used to use for weddings. It pretty much covers all the bases. Great for grabbing those wide shots and then being able to quickly punch in to get those details, plus everything in between. If you can only afford to get one lens, this would be it. This lens is a great stepping stone for a variety of focal lengths, which brings me on to my next lens, the 70-200. This lens allows you to be respectful during ceremonies. It also allows you to capture candid footage without being noticed. The 70-200 reach is perfect for so many situations. It allows you to focus on key subjects, crop out distracting elements in your frame, and just get closer to the action. Now, I'm only using the f4 version, which offers a decently wide aperture, one that you can use for nice backgrounds and in some cases acceptable low light shooting. But if you can afford it, which I can't justify at the moment, the 70-200 2.8 takes it a step further, and the wide aperture is a key reason why so many pros love it. Moving on to my 2 prime lenses I like to use at weddings, the first being the 35mm. This lens will provide you that familiar view which will help draw the viewer to your image, and thanks to the characteristics of this lens, in general you'll also be able to use this lens for both wide and closer tight-in compositions. In effect, you can have this one lens in your bag and get a ton of use out of it. And last but not least, the 85mm. This lens is super sharp and it just renders the background out of focus in a way that's just so pleasing to the eye. I'd use this lens when I want to frame more tightly or I'm filming in a more spacious environment. I find the 85 a very natural companion to the 35 lens. Plus, you'll never be lacking in light either thanks to that fast aperture. To capture quality audio while being as discreet as possible, you'll need a wireless lav microphone. The best option is to attach it to the registrar or vicar and a second lav on the groom. They can easily put the transmitter in their pockets. I've used so many audio recorders in the past and I've found this Tascam DR10 to be the best for filming weddings. The Tascam has auto leveling, built-in -12 dB safety track, a locking microphone cord, recessed power and record buttons. I just feel that this thing is purpose-built for filming weddings and recording wedding audio. There are ways to use this unit to mic up the bride, but to be honest, I get all the audio I need when I just use a lav on the groom and the registrar. If there are any readings during the ceremony, I would also make sure I attach a lav on them too just before the event starts. Now, if you only have one lav mic, the registrar is probably the safer bet. They're the ones talking throughout the whole ceremony, so be sure to tell the registrar that they need to be close up to the couple so you can pick up their vows. You can get by with just one lav, but I tend to bring 4 Tascam units with me at all times. This is also especially handy for capturing the audio later in the evening for the speeches too. If your camera has a microphone built in, be sure to have it recording. Even if you aren't planning on using it, it's good to have a backup. Also, it'll help you sync all the footage when you're editing. Have plenty of batteries for all your varying needs, camera batteries, AAAs and 9-volt batteries for your audio recorder or microphones. If you don't have enough batteries, be sure to set up a charging station so the batteries will be good to go when you need them. And that is it. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, give it a little like, and hey, why not subscribe? That way I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.